Hi, my name is Sabrina Blair and I'm from Learning Team 7. The grade level I chose was the 4th grade, and my topic was how we express ourselves, specifically Artful Avenue. Local artisans express their beliefs, ideas, and culture through a variety of mediums. Art is an ever-growing culture and pastime that will only continue to grow as we grow older. And the 5 books that I chose for my final text set were actually from my learning team. I chose this theme because I found it as I was reading the books throughout through all the modules, um, and I found this theme to be really easy to come to me because I found it right away. Uh, the 5 books that I chose were The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate, Monet Paints a Day by Julie Danneberg, Gollum by David Wisniewski, Inkblot, Drip Splat, and Squish Your Way to Creativity by Margaret Piatt, and Rickshaw Girl by Matali Perkins. Alright. One of the first books that I read was Monet Paints a Day by Julie Danneberg. This is a biographical fiction. Julie Danneberg writes about Impressionist painter Claude Monet that takes place in Etretat, France. The story is written in first-person narrative from Monet's point of view. Monet takes a day trip to a beach to paint a scene he has painted several times before, but with a different mood and tone, but the tables turn when Monet nearly drowns when he gets swept up by the waves. What I found really interesting with it was that this is actually a true story. Not just that Monet's a real person, but that he really did go to France and almost drown. He took a day trip to the beach, and he went to the same scene, and he was painting the same scene over and over again, and he got really frustrated because he couldn't get it to go exactly how he wanted it to, and he got really into the painting. And as you can see, he's just stopped paying attention for just a second, and the waves crept up on him, and he forgot and nearly drowned. And my favorite passage was, "The waves drag me into the sea, which swallows me whole. I tumble like a shell against the bottom of the ocean. My lungs empty and my heart pounds with fear. I look desperately towards the surface." I really like that because you can really imagine how he was feeling. Also, there's this little passage in here. It wasn't part of the actual book. It's like a little excerpt aside from the dialogue itself. It says, "Impressionists tried to capture the feeling or impression of a scene rather than the exact copy. To do this, they used lighter, brighter colors and quick brushstrokes," which actually they do so in the book. As you can see right here. And then the implicit themes were art, culture, nature, power, and wonder, and focus, because he was really focused. And then the explicit theme that I found was nature's greatness, power, and immortality, and that was actually it was a direct quote from the book, but it was also a direct quote from one of the letters that Monet had painted to his wife, Alice, which I thought was really cool. But one thing was that this book did have a controversial topic, which was the near-death situation. But the reason that I chose fourth grade was because I thought that because they're older, I thought that they could handle the more mature topics, such as the near-death situations. Another book that I chose was Gollum by David Wisniewski. It's a fiction fantasy, specifically a folk tale. Wisniewski writes a story about a rabbi who builds a giant man out of mud and clay, Gollum, to protect the city of Prague. He does his job almost too well, and once he gets out of hand, he must be killed. Not really killed because he's not really real. And the explicit theme that I found was protection, because he was protecting the city. And always try to find and follow your dreams, which is what Gollum was trying to do throughout the story. And the implicit theme was life is so precious, which, on the page, Gollum actually says when the rabbi is like killing him, it says, "Please," Gollum cried, "please let me live. I did all that you asked of me. Life is so precious to me." With that, he collapsed into clay. It's really sad. I understand that this isn't exactly art itself, like there's no art specifically brought out in the book, but what I got from it was that Gollum himself, he was the art. He was made by the rabbi, and he was made from clay, and he was there for a purpose, and he was built and he was destroyed. So he himself was the art. And this too had a controversial topic, which was the death again. Another book was Rickshaw Girl by Macaulay Perkins, which was realistic fiction, a children's novel. And this one was our book with the most awards. We found 14 awards, and that was just the ones that we found. There could be more. Just a few off the top that I have. ABC Best Books for Children, Boston Authors Club, Jane Addams, Children's Book Award Honor Club, Notable Books for Global Society, Skipping Stone's Honor Award. This one had the most of all the most awards of all the books that we had, and it was a really, really good book. It says Perkins writes a story of a young girl named Naima who is to paint a design, Alpana, on her house for special celebrations, as all women are expected to do in Bangladesh. Instead, Naima wants to go out and earn money for her family, but has to disguise herself as a boy in order to gain respect. Although Naima was the best Alpana painter in her village, she loved it. She felt like she needed to do more. And let me read you the definition of the Alpana. Girls and women paint these geometrical or floral patterns on the floor during celebrations and holidays. They use crushed rice powder to outline the design and decorate with colored chalk, vermilion, flower petals, wheat, or lentil powder. Some designs are passed down from generation to generation for hundreds of years. And Naima was really good at this. We have a picture. Actually, it's just right on the cover of the book. She was really good at it, but she wanted to go out and do more for her family because she wasn't earning money doing this. It was just a pastime to make the home look more beautiful. And that was the woman's job, was to beautify the home, and it was the man's job to go out and make the money. But this also brings up the controversial topic, which seems to be a nice little theme, another theme, along with the art in my little text set. in this book was sexism. But she dressed up as a boy, and she went out and she tried to earn money, and then it ended up coming out that she was a girl, and she found a way to make money because she met a woman who had her own shop. She found a way to, she figured it all out, and it all worked out for her in the end. And the explicit theme was times are certainly changing, which they are, and they certainly were. Um, but this definitely had the theme of art in it, right? Another book where the art theme is more obvious is Ink Blot, Drip, Splat, and Squish Your Way to Creativity by Margaret Piatt. This is a nonfiction text and a how-to book on how to create ink blots. And ink blots are patterns or spilled ink. And she includes pieces about ink blot heroes, who are people in history that are famous for making ink blots. And I have a little excerpt about Victor Hugo, who was an ink blot hero. He was a writer in France, and he was perhaps the most famous for his novels, Less Miserables, and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And he used single-fold ink blots and multi-fold ink blots, and he was really famous for that. And this one's more obvious because you can pretty much flip to any page and it's anything about art and creativity and it's just crazy, messy fun. Like this, it's just fun, different stuff. It's basically just spilled ink and just different shapes. It's really fun when you look at it. It's a step by step, which it would be a really good book to use in your class, and I'm really excited to use it in my future class one day. Actually, it was kind of hard. It was kind of tough to read, but it's great. It would be great to use in an actual classroom. But there were some themes to it, definitely. Explicit theme was anything is possible. And implicit theme is it does not take a specific skill to make a beautiful ink blot, which is true. And in the back of the book, there's actually tons of ink blots of kids of different ages who have made beautiful ink blots. Like there's this little girl, age 7, who made this beautiful ink blot, actually. Right here. Age 7. It's really easy. So that's definitely one that is more obvious with the art theme. And my fifth and final book in my text set is The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate. This had 5 awards. It was a really good book. Dr. Rice raved about it. The 5 awards were the Newbery Medal in 2013, the Christopher Award in 2013. Oh, I lied. 4 awards. I'm sorry. The Crystal Kite Member Choice Award in 2013, and the Flicker Tail Children's Book Award for Intermediate Books in 2013. I do apologize. 4 awards. Can't count. And it says, Applegate writes a story of a gorilla named Ivan who lives at the top of a mall, along with his friends Stella and Bob. Stella, an elephant, gets old and passes away, while Ivan and the others must deal with their grief. Ivan often thinks about the most simplistic yet beautiful and artistic things in life. Actually, I'd like to read the summary that it says. Ivan is an easygoing gorilla living at the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade. He has grown accustomed to humans watching him through the glass walls of his domain. He rarely misses his life in the jungle. In fact, he hardly ever thinks about it at all. Instead, Ivan thinks about TV shows. he's seen, and his friend Stella, an elderly elephant, and Bob, a stray dog. But mostly Ivan thinks about art and how to capture the taste of a mango or the sound of leaves with color and a well-placed line. See, even the gorilla, they make the gorilla think about art and different things like that. So each one of these books has an art theme. Well, the implicit theme in this was friendship and standing up for what you believe in. But this book, too, has a controversial topic. Just a few were ageism, death, and cruelty. Sorry. But even life and friendship can be such a beautiful and artistic thing. Sorry. Well, I hope you enjoyed my text set, and I look forward to hearing everyone else's. Thank you very much.